A further 600 public sector jobs will be slashed as the state government wields the axe to keep the budget in surplus. Let's go live to state political reporter Andrew Lund. Andrew, was it as tough as predicted?
Well, Pete, yes, it was. The government says drastic action was required to stop the state's debt spiralling out of control. There were a few sweeteners, but critics say cuts to education and the public sector could take Victoria backwards. The Treasurer's described it as the most difficult budget in a decade.
Victoria needs to live within its means. For too long, we haven't done that.
Despite a $2.3 billion drop in revenue, Kimwell's second budget has delivered a surplus of $155 million, but it comes at a cost. The government will slash another 600 jobs from the public service, bringing the total number of cuts to 4,200.
Going into deficit for this government was not an option.
In a further bid to rein in spending, the government will overhaul the state's vocational education programs, increasing subsidies for apprenticeships but cutting $300 million from TAFE.
The most horrendous in the history of TAFE in this state, where this government has basically abandoned public TAFE.
Treasury's chasing extra dollars wherever it can. Higher fines mean speed camera revenue is expected to jump 19%, while income from on-the-spot fines is expected to rise 26.9%. The government will collect more than $1 billion in motor vehicle tax and another $1.1 billion from poker machines.
Problem gamblers and some of the most vulnerable citizens in Victoria are propping up the budget line.
The budget papers reveal a crisis in the ambulance system, with paramedics unable to respond to a quarter of all emergency call-outs within the target 15 minutes. The failure is being blamed on increased demand and case complexity, as well as case time and waits at hospitals. There is modest spending on health services, with $40 million to expand the emergency ward at Frankston, $21 million for a program to increase organ donation, and $7.5 million for planning of the Monash Children's Hospital at Clayton. But the budget's disappointed doctors and Pakenham mum Annie Roberts, whose son Philip is recovering from leukemia.
Well, I mean, what's it going to get us? It's not going to get us a hospital. We need a hospital.
We need a second children's hospital in Melbourne.
Transport projects were largely leaked ahead of the budget. On top of new regional trains and road upgrades, there's $21 million to upgrade station facilities for PSOs, $15 million to complete the business case for the East-West Freeway Tunnel, and another $50 million for planning and development of the Metro Rail Tunnel.
Looking forward, what really is needed is a long-term investment strategy to make sure that the government is able to deliver big infrastructure projects.
Business has welcomed a cut to work cover premiums, but among the biggest winners from the budget will be the state's vulnerable children, with a $336 million package to reform the child protection system.